Okay. All right.
15 million.
So this is where we kind of get into the real part of the meeting. So I want you to think about your dreams. Like literally, like your dreams, like the things that you dream about you or your family being able to do, right? The things that you think may be out of reach, or the things that you think may be very difficult for you to be able to do. Just think about those dreams. Laura, what's a dream you have for you and your family?
Want to get my certification by April.
Okay,
That's one.
that's good. Nick, you got anything?
Yeah.
You dream of a lake house, right?
Yep.
Okay. Chrissy?
Oh God, I don't know. It changes every year. We come up with new ones.
Well, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to that. Alex?
Obviously, you got a farmer.
Yeah, farmers, full-time real estate. Okay.
No, your dream doesn't have to be real estate related.
It doesn't have to be real estate related. Ashley and I do dream of owning a lake house also. We also dream of living closer to the office, on a bigger piece of property. Stuff like that. These are dreams that we have, right? But we all handle their dreams differently. But I'm going to tell you a story about how Ashley and I have handled ours in the past. So I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to come back to it at the end. In your dreams, are you alone? In your dreams, the things that you dream about, are you alone? You don't have to answer right now. We're going to come back. So this story is about Ashley and Tracy. It's a totally true, never heard, hard to follow story that has never been told or for anyone to sleep yet. So Ashley and I met in April 2007. And this is a few pictures from that first year. We traveled a lot. This photo right here actually wound up on the cover of the Buckeye newspaper. We went our first Halloween together. Anyway, we were a little bit younger back there. That was our first trip to SoCal. And yeah, that was about the time belt buckle started bothering my belly. So.
Right before you retired at the bottom.
This one?
No, the close one at the bottom.
That one?
Up close.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not. I promise. But anyway, so our first year was long distance. Actually, so we met in April 2007. She moved here the following January. So it was almost a year long distance, and we learned a lot. Like, I never ever wanted to talk on the phone as much as I did that year before that, and I've never wanted to talk on the phone that much since. But Ashley and I have this foundation of communication now that it's not me bragging. It just seems the way we communicate seems so much different than what I see from other people. And we're talking to a couple of friends of ours, and they don't seem that they communicate on the same level that we're able to. I can tell Ashley everything. By the time she moved here in January, even though it had been so long distance, she was my best friend. Like, she was my confidant. Her and I were on the same page 100% before she ever moved to Texas. And that was because we spent so much time on the phone. I knew her wants, I knew her needs, I knew her desires, I knew what some of her dreams were. And that's where we're going with this. So, in that first year, we were long distance. We actually started our first business together. We haven't talked about this much. Most of you probably never even know that we had a business together before real estate. Does anybody, Alex, you're out. Does anybody know what that might be? Does anybody have any idea what our first business together could have been? This was before you and I reacquainted.
Yeah.
It was during that time that we weren't talking much. Yeah.
Nothing to do with
Y'all were
real
outside
estate
at that time.
Well, it's not that we weren't friends. I used to drink really heavily in the same crowd that Nick did, and then I stopped drinking, and he got out of that crowd at the same time, and then we reacquainted after he got remarried.
I didn't know he quit drinking for like. How do I run back into you?
I don't remember. I remember meeting Christina at Molina's. Marvin and guys.
Yes. Okay. I remember that.
Anybody have any idea what our first business might have been?
Nope.
You're gonna laugh.
Okay, Alex, do you know what our first business was?
Selling ATVs.
Selling ATVs. There was these really cheap Chinese ATVs that people were getting into out in the West. And we thought, hey, let's try Texas. Maybe we can do that
We
here.
don't do that.
So, and these don't even represent, like, I couldn't even find pictures of the crap that we tried to sell, okay? Now, we didn't
They
know.
were like Chinese names. Like, couldn't you?
Sanel.
Sanel.
Yeah.
I think I still have keys to some.
Oh, yeah?
No, like,
Well, so I was living in my parents' right now, and I had a dog that was on a chain, that was on a run. So he could pretty much run all the way across my yard. And one night the dog came up missing, right? So dog came up missing. We really haven't put a whole lot of thought in this business. Most of it is before, like, I still had flip phones, before you got on the internet on your phone, right? This is back when Craigslist was new and everybody was on Craigslist, and you were starting to figure out how people would say they were going to meet you and then they never would, right? So we had quite a bit of money invested here.
This was still when MySpace was.
Yeah, this was back in MySpace time. So I actually had to drive to Dallas, put all these things on a trailer, get them to my house, unload them, they come in these big metal crates, put them together, and had a log chain through them in my front yard looking for sale and on Craigslist. Dog comes up missing. 2 days later, most of our stuff came up stolen out in my front yard, right there. First business in the toilet. The only thing I think I had left was a dirt bike that I finally sold for a couple.
You probably still have the keys too, huh?
We have lots of keys.
Probably, I think I threw them away when we moved out of that house. And you know, the sheriff's department that came out, he was like, yeah, he said, you know, these things always turn back up in a couple of years. I'm still waiting on this phone call.
Oh my.
Still waiting on this phone call. There were actually some pretty cool little machines too. What I liked about them is the first side by side I ever saw, you could actually shift like a truck, had a 4-speed gearbox in it. So anyway, split the tubes. We didn't really have a lot of plans. The only thing that we did really to start this business was we bought the 4-wheelers. I bought a computer and I ran underground a line so I could have internet at my house to my mom's house. I plugged it in her mobile. I mean, that was the preparation for the business. That was the extent.
So, how was the business?
It sucks. We got our shit stuck.
I mean.
So this was my first place of sales. Okay, this is my very first place of sales, and you know, I realized that people just don't follow up. People don't call you back. People don't meet when they say you are. People aren't as interested as they say they are. And a lot of people that buy 4-wheelers actually have 5s. Even as cheap as these are, people just didn't have the spending money. People that were interested just didn't have the spare cash to just come and buy it from them. So the experience was pretty bad for me, honestly.
So all but one of them got stolen.
And I'm
So
not,
we
I'm not
lost
a
all
people
that
person.
money.
You know, I'm very wasn't a people person then either. So anyway, so that's how that ended. So anyway, Ashley moves in. Ashley moves to Texas in 2008, and we're living in my parents' rent house. And the whole time we're there, like I had my closet set up, color coordinated, and all that good stuff. She's like, I just don't feel like this is my house. So
I know what your second business was.
Well, just wait.
hey,
Just
we're
wait.
gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Go ahead.
So we bought a house together before we were married. Now, by this time we were engaged. So we married the following year. We moved in to our new house in July.
We got engaged in that house.
Hey,
Oh,
nobody
that's right.
can
That's
tell
right.
how he proposed to her.
We're not. This is not about that. This is really not about that. So this is our first taste of real estate together. And honestly, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the first year that we lived here, but it didn't take us long, and I wanted to build a metal shop. Ashley she was ready to get out of the house we were living in because she didn't feel like she was at home. So she was like, let's just do something that we can do quickly. And we regretted it pretty quickly. We regretted buying that mobile home pretty quickly. We could see, basically by the time we'd been there a couple months, that was not where we wanted to start our family. So we bought it in July. Let's see where I'm at here. Yeah. So we bought it in July 2008. We were to get married in July 2009. In January of 2009, I got laid off at Coca-Cola. So this kind of continues a pattern for me of getting laid off about every 2 years in the HVAC business. It just seems like I'm always, like, there's always something.
You're like, I suck at life. Sorry.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I don't know. So we actually get married. I'm still unemployed when we get married. I actually got laid off. It wasn't in January. It was later than that.
It was like April, maybe.
It was before that. It was in August.
Oh.
Because my grandmother passed away, and
Oh, okay.
no, that was before that. This is Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So it was January. I'm sorry. I'm getting the timeline across in my head. Anyway, January I got laid off. So it's been 6 months ago I bought a new house. And in 6 months, I'm getting married. I'm going on a honeymoon. Freaking money. And Ashley's working 2 jobs at that time.
Cypress Bank,
she had just graduated, honestly. No? Yeah. You were working 2 jobs, Cypress Bank and Dr. Groves.
You've already graduated?
No.
Hadn't even gone back to school yet.
Screaming, going back to school.
Haven't
Her
even
parents
gone
must
back to
have been
school
so proud. Yay!
Her dad loved me because the first time he came to visit us in this house, I shot one of those pigs and cooked it for him, and he's been loving me ever since.
He's
Yeah.
like, well, at least you can survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've never even gotten a pig.
So
You
anyway,
got some.
you know, we started regretting that, and then of course now I'm unemployed. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm on unemployment. At least we got a little bit of income, but it's still really hard. So our second business, I don't want to
I
say
wouldn't
it was a lot of
consider
things. I was pissed at her when she started it because she spent money that we didn't have to start it. And anybody think they might know what that is? Alex and Nick are out. It smelled really good. Cincy. Ashley started selling Cincy.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what my wife got addicted to.
Yeah, so Ashley started selling Cincy, and that's one of those, you know, it's like Avon or anything else, but it's a business that we
Multi-level
started.
marketing.
And I was mad at her for spending the money to get started. And then it did pretty good, actually, because she got in at this time. Since he was kind of just getting off the ground, I never even heard of it when she brought it home, or when it came in the mail. And I never even heard of it before. And I was like, it's a freaking light bulb and candle wax. What the hell?
Genius.
So we started growing some things pretty quickly from there. Actually had a pretty good big base. Of course, her mom and grandparents had bought tons of products from her. And from all those sales that she was doing, she figured out pretty quick that you just don't do individual sales. Every month you start an online party, right? And you let them order from an online party. And then if I'm the host, I get to choose the free stuff. I put it in stock to sell somebody for cash, and I just sold you $30 Cincy and put $30 in my pocket. So that's what she started doing. We started accumulating all this freaking Cincy everywhere. Like so much Cincy, I had to buy an RV to store my camping stuff because the Cincy kicked my camping stuff out of the closet. We started doing some shows, and I thought this is going to be terrible. I'm going to sit at this table all day and talk about freaking candle wax. So I think the first one we did, if I recall, was at the Rockwall parade.
Christmas parade.
Dude, we made so much freaking money. It's unreal. And that was the first month.
You're like, I love candle wax.
Since he paid our mortgage. Now, let me tell you something. At this time, since he paid our mortgage, it was a godsend because we were trying to decide if the electric bill was going to get paid on time or the water bill was going to get paid on time. You know, it's one of those things. I'm working every side job I can find. We've got some unemployment money coming in. Ashley's got 2 part-time jobs that are paying her minimum wage. We're working our tails off trying to keep what we've got. You know, it could get worse, but it was pretty bad. And so since we started doing several shows, since he paid our mortgage 2 months in a row and some of our other bills, right? And then the bottom just flushed. The bottom just flushed out. I should have put that song. The bottom just flushed out because what happened is everybody saw how much money people were making at Cincy, and they're like, I want some of that. I want some of that. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I can do that. And then Walmart started selling a similar product. Cincy sued them and lost. And so all this kind of happened at about the same time. And so 2 months in a row since he paid our mortgage, and I think she made like $300 next month. And then it was like zero, and then it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know, because there were so many people selling it, and it was available at Walmart. So we didn't fail this business. I don't think we really failed either one, but both of them essentially failed. They died. I mean, just for one reason or another, market conditions, thieves, whatever. We weren't prepared for what happened at the end. Now, I'll tell you though, that I believe, because of how much I hated Cincy, that this was God doing for us what we couldn't do for ourselves at the time. You know, He was paying those bills when we couldn't. And I fully believe it. So we get married, and she landed a keeper. I got a little cake in my face.
You're way out of your league.
Yeah. So we go to Telluride. This is July. Okay, it's July of 2009. 7/11. I can remember it easily. So we go to Telluride, and I've had this plan kind of cooking in my brain. Right? I'm tired of getting laid off every other year. I don't like where my life is going. I don't feel like I'm really prepared to be the leader of a household. I don't feel like I'm prepared to lead a family, to be, you know, the man of the house like I was taught, like you're supposed to be the provider. And I'm not providing. Ashley is working 2 jobs. I'm working odd jobs. Ashley's working 2 jobs and with Cincy and paying the bills. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Tracy? What are you doing? So we're in Telluride, and I told Ashley, I said, I'm going to go back to school in January, and I'm going to go get an engineering degree. And I had this like burning desire in my heart to like propel the American dream, because I've always been really fond of the American dream. And I told Ashley, I said, I want to go get my engineering degree, and I want to work for local manufacturers in the United States and help them save enough money that they can keep those plants open in the United States, keep those jobs here. And that's really like, that was where that dream kind of started. And she says, why don't you start as soon as we get back? Well, she didn't know it yet, but I'd already made the phone calls to the advisor and all that, and really the classes I needed to take started the next semester. So if I started in January, I could finish in 3.5 years. But if I started in August, it would take me 4, just because of when the classes were offered. So Ashley was supposed set to graduate in December, so I said, that's good. Let me work my butt off. I found a job at this little goat farm, and I was working, I don't know how many hours. And I was.
And he literally, I just ignored his phone call.
Maybe. Well, anyway, so I I said, this is good, because you concentrate on getting to know your school, get out of college, that way we can move forward with what we've got going on, okay? So, that was the plan, that's what we did. So later, what we did, in December, we kind of sat down, it was the end of the year, we're like, okay, so what does this mean? I'm gonna be in school for the next 3.5 years, so what are we going to do? So we decided to make a 5-year plan. That's what we decided to do. So the first thing on our plan was Tracy graduated college. We knew that was at the 3.5-year mark. Check. That's what I need to do. Tracy did a good job.
Get a job.
That's good. Yeah, did a good job.
Did a
Yeah, did a good job. I needed to land a good job because I needed that job. I needed that good job that would provide us health insurance.
Yes.
We needed health insurance because we wanted to start a family. Okay. So we're going to buy a house because I already told you we regretted where we were at. We regretted buying the home. We didn't regret where we were at. We regretted the house we bought. We love that little place on the hill, honestly. It's close to my family. I've never been that close to my family again, and I have not talked to them as much or seen them as often as I did when I lived there. So I hate that I moved, but it was the right thing for us. And then at the end of the 5-year plan, that was the goal: have a baby, get ready for that baby. So fast forward just a little bit. Now we're living on the top of this hill in a mobile home, and there's this little rent house. Now I've already told you before, not a rent house. There's this little farmhouse. I've already told you before that when Ashley moved here, we would be driving by a house or someplace, and she's like, "How long has that place been vacant? How long has that place been open?" I'm like, "I didn't know there was a place there. I didn't know. I had no idea." But I had already seen something different in her. She was noticing different things about the world around us than what I was used to noticing. I'm noticing creeks and fishing holes and mud holes and
Your tracks.
deer tracks and stuff like that. And she's over here looking at houses, like she's looking at work, really. She's looking. But anyway, so from our driveway, every time we pulled in, we could see this old rundown farmhouse. And she asked me at least, I think like once a month, if not freaking once an hour, who owns that house? Actually, I don't know who owns that house. Now, we bought this property we lived on from a family friend, and that was part of the property before too. So we had kind of done some digging, and we knew that Buff Tucker had owned it at one time, but he didn't own it anymore. So finally I said, quit asking me. I don't want you to ask me anymore until you go to the county and find out who's on those county tax rolls. So this is a picture of that house.
That's not.
I'm kidding. This is not. But it's kind of what I felt like it looked like, okay? Because I've never done this before.
It was completely gutted.
It was completely gutted. But anyway, turns out that the people that had owned it had started working on it, disagreed about how it should be put back together, wound up in divorce. And now the woman, it wound up in the woman's name, and she was getting ready to go to Vegas, and she could use a little cash in her pocket. So we picked up this house. It was completely gutted. It wasn't this house. We picked up a house, completely gutted, on 3 acres with a pond for $7,000.
Wow.
$7,000.
Wow.
$7,000.
Oh, 7?
7,000. 7,000.
Wow.
No,
That's
$7,000. So anyway, and it actually attached to our property. So like the property lines met our property. So it was good because I could walk next door and check on it, right? Well, we didn't have. I told you we didn't have any money. So she had borrowed. She had taken a personal loan for $7,000. We took another personal loan for $4,000. Got a total of $12,000. And so it's walks rocks on a few months. House still looking the same. We haven't done anything. It's bugging the hell out of her. I'm going, what am I going to do?
We have money just sitting there.
I don't know anything about what I'm doing. She said, what if we do this? What if we rent that thing out? What if we put it on Craigslist? We'll rent it out to somebody cheap. We'll provide the materials, they provide the labor. You're going to get some crap these people. They're going to fix it up long enough to stay there for like 6 months or a year, and they're going to be out. And we're going to be worse off than what I am right now.
I did it anyway.
I finally get tired of the squeaky wheel. You know, the nag. No. But really, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing anything to the house because I'm over my head. I don't know what to do. Go ahead. Go ahead. The woman still lives there. It's been like 7 years. Her and her family came in and fixed it up. It's been 9 years.
About 9.
Well, this is 2019.
I'm sorry, we bought it. She's lived in it. Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah.
About 7.
So her family came in and they leveled that house. And they did everything. I mean, it was the family home they were going to live in forever. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, she
It's
did
the
such a
same
good
with
job
me.
that at the end of the time, when it's time for her to move in, I said, listen, You did such a great job, and you really took care of it. I know you really love this place. Put a lot of heart and soul into it. I'm going to extend my cheap lease to you for 2 years instead of just one. So you're going to get that price for 2 years. And what that meant was, at the end of that 2 years, my note was paid off. I mean, that's basically what it was. 2 years, $12,000, my note was paid off. So it worked out, and that was the very beginning of our fix and rent.
So she did all the work to fix this house up on a house she doesn't own
Yes.
I provided the materials.
In exchange for cheap rent.
for cheap.
In
I've,
exchange for cheap
I've
rent.
never even heard from this woman ever, and she's a renter, she's one of the renters. Never had to hear from her, and I'm assuming she did a really good job.
Yeah.
Remodeling.
So anyway, this is 2010. This is the birth. Honestly, when this house was purchased, this was the birth of ATMs LLC, the brokerage name that you guys all work for now. So it's actually been in existence since 2010. LegalZoom helped us out before we knew what a lawyer was, really. So anyway, so 2010, 18 Hands LLC is born with the purchase of this house, and I didn't know where that was going. I had no idea, but this is still in our 5-year plan. This is kind of a side road that we took during our 5-year plan, and this was something that really helped me see what the potential was and helped me see what Ashley's passion was. And so after this purchase, and we started, I really realized that Ashley had something built into her that was different about real estate than I had ever seen, and I just assumed that would lead to success, and I think I was right. So anyway, I finally convinced her to get a license. This is one thing that's really cool about Ashley's family. Her grandfather pays for college for them, or school. And so if she decided to go to real estate school, he would pay for that. We didn't have the money to send her to real estate school. So he paid for her to go to real estate school. She got her license in 2011. I know this is not her current license. I couldn't find it. This is her current license.
Shouldn't be
Couldn't
my
find her original one.
address is wrong.
Okay, this is the one before. This is before the
This is the one he
This is
could
before you
find.
moved. Yeah, that's one I could find. So anyway, finally, with what happened here and what I can see in Ashley and what things that I'd never heard about before, the things that she was talking about, I finally convinced her to do this. She's a procrastinator. It took her 6 months to do it. She could have done it in probably a month, but she's a
I did do it in a month.
Well, the last month. So now she's got a real estate license, right? She's got a real estate license. She's still working part-time at Alliance Bank. I'm still in school, and I don't have much of a job. Still working on building. And so her parents come into town, right? And they're like, hey, we're going to buy this house in Yanis. And it has a mother-in-law suite that you could live in. And you guys could move in there and rent your house out, and actually go to work full-time in real estate. I said, hell no. It's not the way that goes. Don't take handouts from nobody. I was raised, we're gonna do this ourselves. We're gonna be successful. We're gonna do it ourselves, by golly. My God. Yeah, that's right. That was my reaction. And so my father-in-law, Rick, most of you have met him. He's kind of a rough and gruff guy. Likes to talk about cars and likes to talk about mechanical things. Him and I are very similar to that. And we're sitting out on the front porch of the house that I showed you earlier, the mobile home, later that night. We're sitting out there kind of BSing. I think I'm smoking a cigar. And he says, Tracy, he said, I know you're a good guy. He said, but if you had the opportunity to help Ashley make her dreams come true, would you turn it down? I said, no way. So I'm going to take it away in a heartbeat. I gobbled it up. He said, what the hell are you doing? He said, you're passing up a chance to let her go into real estate full time. And you're asking her to put her dreams on hold for your pride. You son of a bitch. So, but he was right. He really was. And I went straight in the house that night and I told Ashley, I said, I'll do it. I said, I'll do it. But I told my mother, I said, this is the deal. I am not going to take a handout. I will not live there for free. I will not let you pay my electric bill. I will not let you pay my water bill. I will not let you pay my TV bill. And I'm going to take care of the car. You're not going to have that now. And so that was the deal. We moved in. We took care of the house. We paid all the bills. They would come in and our bills would triple, quadruple. They'd come in for a month, but that's fine. That was the deal. That's what we did, and that's how I felt better about the decision I made, that I wasn't taking a handout. So this is Rick and Cindy here. I know y'all recognize them. This is the house in Yanis, and I thought it was cool. I mean, I had my truck backed up the steps there. And this is just a hillbilly moving all their shit to Yanis. And this was the first truckload of stuff of Ashley's that I threw away and moved. Okay, so now we're full-time real estate. At Stoppers Bank, Ashley had met Sarah. Let me tell you something. Ashley had a best friend when she moved to Texas, and they were really close. But Ashley had never had a friend like Sarah. Sarah is one of those girls that she thinks more about you than she thinks about herself. She'd be at the store, like, picking out something cute for herself, but she'd find something that she would think looked cute on Ashley, and she would buy it for her. I've never had a friend like that. Ashley never had a friend like that, and it was just a breath of fresh air. And so Ashley's friendship with Sarah goes back long before real estate was even something that we were doing. And right after Ashley had become a full-time realtor, she helped Sarah and Andy buy their second house, the house they live in now. And during that process, Ashley had already been talking about to Sarah about Sarah was now working for Jesus. She was really unhappy about it, and she was like, "You could be the mother that you want to be. You could spend more time with your kids. You could, still do real estate. You could do real estate, and it would just open up all these doors that you've never had open before." And Sarah took the lead. And I just put together a couple of things here. And I one of Ashley's first business cards. She actually opened an office in Commerce on Alamo Street for a little while under the Freedom Realty flag. And this was the very first post I could find on the At Home Texas Real Estate page. I know that doesn't matter because it was Ashley's real estate page before that. But anyway, 21st Mortgage, why that's important. When we moved into, about the time we moved into Yanis, and took that leap of faith, Ashley had been calling this Brian with 21st Mortgage. He's not with them anymore. He was their local sales rep. He had these listings he was trying to sell. And Ashley had been calling every 2 weeks. She'd call him. She put him in the calendar. Call him. She'd call him. Just give me one. Let me try with one. Just try it. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of phone ring. And I need to make some money too. So I'm gonna try it out. The first one she sold like that. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna give you 2 or 3 more. Sold. And then he said, you know what? I'm gonna give you every listing I have. And the timeline is going to skip forward a little bit here, but for the next 2 years, Brian was the #1 sales agent, resales agent for 21st Mortgage for the next 2 years because of Ashley sales. And because of that, that is why she gets every 21st listing in the state and why she started getting the ones she did now. Because of that relationship that she made with Brian, just following up. He kept saying no, but he never said no.
So how did you meet him though?
There was a sign in a yard on Highway 11 in Ridgeway. They had a foreclosure there. And they had the 21st Mortgage sign for sale in the front yard.
So he wasn't a real estate agent, he actually worked for 21st Mortgage.
Yep.
He was
the
like
asset manager.
Jason or
They
Wayne.
didn't list with agents at the time?
They did not list with agents. They did not list with agents at the time. The sign was in the yard. I called.
Their days on market were typically more than a year at that time. And she really pulled those days on market. We don't have it like all of them. We had one in, starts with an A.
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, we had for like 3 or 4 years. They don't all sell, we can't help them all. But really, it opened the eyes of the people at 21st Mortgage. And that's why she got everything in the state, because the manager who was over the state of Texas said, hey, all of my agents out there, you better have a list with Ashley, because I don't want to hear about you not meeting your numbers if you're not listed with Ashley. And said that she could do that, and then she was getting attention on the national stage at their national convention as well. And they talked about bringing her in as a speaker, but she wasn't really confident enough to go and speak in front of a bunch of people. Because she said, what do I say? Because they wanted to know, how do I find a real estate agent like you? How do I find a real estate agent who's going to knock on the door until somebody answers it? How do I find a real estate agent who's going to help me and be consistent about bringing me buyers? And Ashley told them, you don't find a real estate agent like that. They find you. A real estate agent like that's going to find you. They're going to be the one calling on the sign. So that's what you need to find in your other markets. If you've got a guy out there who's got a realtor that's calling him every 2 weeks, trying to find out if he'll list the house, let the agent list the house. Try it. Try it. The worst thing that happens is it won't sell like it already has. So because of that, we got some payoff. Now, to tell you, the 21st deal was so good. It was so good that it treated us so well. We didn't even have to move to Yanis. Looking back on it, looking back at the numbers,
We wouldn't have had.
we would have had to, but we didn't know that when we moved into Yanis. But it just consistently paid off, and so we were like, "This is freaking awesome!" Like, I'm getting rid of a house that I don't want to live in anymore, but I'm having to live in Yanis, and I had enough money to cover my bills. Like, we could have stayed there and not had to move into the mother-in-law. But we didn't know that. It was a risk. So we had to pay off. I looked for a Jeep for 2 years. I graduated from college. I started an internship. We bought the house in 2013. Ashley bought a mom car, And because I had the Jeep and that Dodge truck you were seeing, I needed something, and I was driving this little piece of crap that's 10 that I hated. I said, actually, I'm too much of a car guy to be driving this piece of crap that I hate every day. And she's like, what do you want to buy? I said, this is going to sound crazy because I've never wanted a sports car. I said, well, she had a Jeep at the time, a Jeep Liberty. So we've got the SUV, we've got the truck. Maybe cool on a Mustang. So I bought a Mustang. So we got all that. We bought Big Pine in 2015. So all the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. Like all the things that we need to do, even some of the smaller things that I didn't show you on our
He
5
got
year
the
plan.
job at SciTech,
Got
he
the
got
job
the
at SciTech,
insurance.
got graduated, got the insurance, got the house, got
We're
the
marking
mom
off the
card.
5-year plan.
You know, we're marking that stuff off. Check. Disappointment. Ashley's body had decided to build a wall somewhere it shouldn't be. When we found out she couldn't have kids, we were heartbroken. I mean, we were strong for each other because that's the kind of people that we are. We didn't want each other to see how devastated we were. So when we were in separate rooms, we were heartbroken. We were devastated. And we've been working so hard. We have put so much effort into this 5-year plan so we can have this baby. And now it's being taken away from us. So some really cool things happen. We have this great insurance. Now Ashley's mom called freaking out, crying, I'll send you anywhere in the world to have surgery. And Ashley was like, you know what? We've worked really hard. We have good insurance. It's going to cover. We just had to figure out where we're going to go. Ashley had already found out the 2 top places in the country. One was in Colorado, one was in Dallas. And we'd already set up to see the place in Colorado. We were going to go have a meeting with them. We were flying out to see her family, I think for Easter. Probably Easter. That's when we were going out for Easter.
I don't know.
And anyway, so we pull up, the Southwest Airlines, they have the Dallas magazine in the back seat pocket. We pull it out, and it's talking about the #1 doctor in the nation for, what do they call it? When you're infertile or whatever.
Like IVF,
IVF, yeah, it's like the #1 can't have a baby doctor in the country.
and it's a different doctor than I had researched.
Right. And it's Dr. Rodriguez, and he's right there in Plano, part of the Texas health system. And reading all those things about him, and we both kind of get chills and goosebumps at the same time. Like, let's go talk to this guy. If we like him, let's cancel that other thing. Because if we go to Colorado, can you imagine that? Like, the way the surgery is going to have to happen, we're going to go there, we're going to be in a hotel, we're going to travel the day before, be in a hotel, we're not going to sleep, we're going to be nervous as hell about what's going on. And then after this surgery, there's going to be like a lot of gas built up in your body from surgery that's pumping nitrogen in you. And so, like, you're not going to want to fly. So, if we can do this in Plano, I think it'd be better than Colorado.
We already had plane tickets, already had the appointment.
Already had everything. So, and this was like another thing where God was saying, this is what you need to do. This is the guy you need to go talk to. And she did. And we did. And we love the guy. He did an amazing job. We went to, she had the surgery in August. The weekend before the surgery, we went to Broken Boat with the Gillets. And we stayed in this beautiful cabin. It was kind of like the last getaway before we had the surgery and Ashley was going to be down for a while. It's kind of like, hey, let's just go clear our mind and breathe some beautiful, clean air before this. And also, at the time, SciTech was going to, we knew that SciTech was about to have a lockout. They were renegotiating the contract with the labor. And I knew that I was about to go to work like 12 hours a day at this 6 days a week for the unforetold future. And so it was really perfect timing to get away and to go and do these things. Well, Ashley had that surgery in August, and we were supposed to get the green light to try to have a baby in January. And I already told her, I said, I'm going to take you, you plan it now. So I'll take you anywhere in the world you want to go. You plan the vacation. When we get the green light, we'll go celebrate, you know? Because I mean, we've been working hard. I mean, it's not just about that. Come on now, it's not just about that. But like, really, we've been working hard. This is the only thing that's been on our mind for the last 5 years. This is the only thing that's been on our mind.
No pressure.
This is what we've been working so hard for. This is what we've been working so hard for. Ashley starts planning this cruise. It's on one of those sailing ships, like Ashley has sails. There's only 300 people, including crew, on the whole ship. $10,000 vacation for the crew. She starts planning. And it just seems amazing, like the most beautiful thing. So we're going to do it in January. She's already got it. She got it planned. Luckily, hadn't paid for it yet because she got pregnant in September. On some medication she was told she didn't get pregnant on. So we can't go out of the country now. And it's a high-risk pregnancy. And we have to be in a class 4 neonatal. But, man, we got some fun here. I forgot about this slide. This is fun. Let everybody laugh. But we got. I put that in there to kind of break the whole I can't have kids thing. But anyway, we got the final piece, man. This was the end of the 5-year plan, and actually she came like the 5 years would have been up in December from the time we made our plan. She came in June. So this is like payoff. And I tell you what, we love this little girl so much. I know y'all know that, but we could not even bear to be away from her at first. With the first 2 years of her life, we did not go on a date alone. And we didn't want to, y'all. It wasn't that we couldn't. We didn't want to. And now I guess with the Boys and Girls Club thing coming up, when they wanted to be 6 months old before. But y'all, this, I mean, look at this right here. Ashley's out feeding the horses, and all she hears is Shine hollering at her, and she finally gets close enough to realize Mama. She's saying, "Mama, kiss, Mama, kiss." She just wanted to kiss her Mama.
She looks like Jalita in that.
That's what I was saying. I was like, they have the same haircut.
I thought this was the one she looked
That's
like.
like Whitley. No, that looks like Whitley.
Jalea, stop crying.
So the first 5-year plan worked marvelously, right? Ashley, let's do it again. Let's sit down and let's make some plans. So we did.
She's like, I'm tired now.
We're gonna open a brokerage. Now we're gonna open a brokerage. Now we had actually talked to Freedom Realty and Chris Childers about franchise. We were kind of scared to take that step on our own. So, but he refused to franchise. He said that's how they never had to do it. Why not? Well, that's why your brokerage is smaller today. So our plan was to open a brokerage, bring on some agents. We already had one on the hook, Sarah White. I mean, she was going to come along no matter what. I mean, she has Ashley's back more than anybody I know. She said, "I'll be there." So we're going to do more flip to rent projects. That was part of what we wanted to do. We want to do more flip to sell projects. And we want to grow our property management business. And this is like the reason that we grow this is that rent, and we feel like that rent income will help support our brokerage even when the downturn comes. So that's really what that's there for. That's the cushion. Really, honestly, that's our retirement plan. When we have enough of those and we're ready to just like kick back and not do anything, we're hoping that the residual income from that can pay for us to do whatever we want to do. And then Tracy gets to quit his job and fish at the end of 5 years. That's the ultimate goal. Tracy gets to quit his job.
You're still waiting to quit, huh?
Well, it turns out all that happened in 1 year, and I still don't get to go fishing. But the reason that happened in 1 year, I don't want to say that it just happened, because it didn't. Some things at work happened, and I was so freaking depressed with my job, y'all, because I worked really hard. I worked harder than any of my colleagues, and was treated worse than any of them because I did so much work that kept piling more on my plate. And basically, when my boss finally told me more was expected of me because I could do more than they could, but I wasn't going to get paid more, I told Ashley, I said, "I'm done. I'm done. We have to get there faster. We have to get there faster because I can't keep working for people who don't believe in me and won't support me the way that I'm supporting them. I won't do it." So Ashley and I sat down. We stopped eating out. We did all these different things. We had a great year. We could have done without a great year, but we put $50,000 in the bank account in months. I'm ready to quit my job, so I did. And I come to work over here.
Well, and it also helped that they had a lockout, so you're working like 12.
This is after lockout was over. After lockout was over.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, we had an opportunity to franchise. I come on over here, we're growing the business, and there's a franchise that really seeing our signs everywhere, and they really want to bring us on because they want a piece of our money. Right? So we talk about it, and it's like, you know what? They can offer training that we can. They can offer the back end that we can. There was some things that really was intriguing that they could offer our agents that we couldn't offer.
But the agents would have to pay the franchise.
But basically, the agents would bear the cost. And there was going to be a big cost for us to franchise. And so Ashley and I, we talked about it. It never really was a huge decision, really, on that, because we knew that we wanted to be a mom and pop brokerage. We knew we wanted to stay independent. But it just kind of brought to light some of the things that we couldn't offer. And that's why you see me working really hard on some of that back end stuff and some of the meetings that we do and the training that we bring in so that we can compete with what a franchise can do. So what does Ashley say to me? She says, "Tracy, I would rather buy an office in a good location and have a nice place for my agents rather than renting this piece of crap building in Sherwin-Williams where all the homeless people walk by And I want to have something I can be proud of, and I want to have something my agents can be proud of. And so we did. I mean, I know I'm not going into depth. You guys knew that there was a lot of planning here. You guys got to kind of live through this. So what's really important for you to understand too, and this is part of the whole deal, right? Is along the way, we had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. Ashley started volunteering for CASA because she felt this desire in her heart after, getting that kid and being so in love with that kid that she really, and honestly, this kind of predates that as well. She's always had this burning desire to help children. So she became a CASA volunteer. This is Sarah's first pregnancy here. Ashley looks younger than she did when we were married. I don't know why. Refrigerator can actually fall out of the side of your truck when you're going 80 miles an hour.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Home Depot will replace it for free.
Yeah, you got a 30-day money back guarantee. That's right.
That's incredible.
Your
Yeah.
dump trailer gets wrecked. You have a really bad day, you wind up with your arm in a sewer pipe trying to get a piece of rock out of there.
She was pregnant.
She was, no,
Oliver, yeah, I would have been.
oh, yes, just pregnant.
Did it get stuck?
Cheyenne was in Children's for 4 days at one point with RSV. And Ashley, I put this up here because this is a post. She posted, she got her broker's license, her broker pin, and then that's Ashley getting her GRI designation, her first picture with Candy Cook. That was in 2012.
Yeah,
What was the right vehicle down there?
that was
that was the dump trailer. That was my old dump
That
trailer.
was-
That's actually the work truck before I put a flatbed on it. Because of this wreck, I had to put a flatbed on it. Somebody hit the dump trailer. Somebody T-boned the dump trailer on Highway 50. They were doing about 75 or 80 miles an hour as we were crossing the highway. Bad day. Bad
Hit
day.
it without hitting the brakes.
That was only like 9 months ago.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been on. That was,
It would have happened like right before we moved, right?
so these 5-year plans I talked about,
Well, that dump trailer was coming from here.
that was coming from here. Yeah. So where did those 5-year plans come from? Where did all of that come from? It started with dreams. We started with our dreams and we worked backwards. These are the dreams that we had, and what do we have to do to get there? So those dreams become multiple goals. You saw on the 5-year plan. I didn't show you all the goals. I didn't show you all the nitty-gritty things that we did, but all of those goals that we had to do became annual, monthly, weekly, or daily tasks. Every one of them. There's something you have to do every day. You're going to reach your dreams. There's something you have to do every day to try to get one step closer to those dreams. So you now have a plan. If you work this plan right here, you now have a plan to reach your dreams. If you can turn your dreams into goals and your goals into tasks, you now have a plan. You have step by step what you have to do to be where you want to be and live the dreams you want to live. The first dream, have a baby with a stable family structure. I did not want to have a baby thinking that I was going to be let off every 2 years. That was the plan. That was the dream. I will not have a child if I cannot be a provider. I dream of being a provider in my daughter's service. Didn't know she was my daughter's service. Second dream, own a successful business, a successful and sustainable business. And that's why the plans were made the way they were, with the growth in the areas that we felt like we needed to grow in order to sustain the business that we want to have. Because honestly, we want to leave this business to our kids. I tell you this, guys, this all the time. That's why we're so big on law and ethics, because that's the quickest thing to bring this business down. The last dream, own a nice office space in a good location. So those dreams became goals. Those goals became reality. So I asked you earlier, in your dreams, are you alone? Nick, are you alone at your lake house?
Oh,
No? No?
No.
Your dreams. Are you alone in your dreams? Alex, you alone in your dreams? Dave? Anybody here? If you're alone in your dreams, raise your hand. If you're not alone in your dreams, then you need to stop dreaming alone. You need to stop doing it by yourself. You need to stop just rumbling around out there, floating around, thinking that one day your dreams will come true, even if you do nothing to try to obtain it. The best part of what I'm telling you today, every one of you, think about this. You're living our dreams with us right now. This is something that Ashley and I dreamed about years ago, and we're living it today with your help. You're all part of the dreams that we had all those years ago, starting back on the day that we were married, and I told Ashley that I was going back to school. This was all leading up to this day, right now. We're living our dreams. We had a dream, and we're living it. And it's the most amazing thing. If you've never lived your dreams, you should really try it, because it's amazing. It's freeing. So What does all this mean? Dreams are tangible. You can reach them. You can reach out and grab them, pull them down to you. They don't have to be these things in your brain that you can think of that you can never reach down and grab and hold on to. Reach on that table. Reach down and touch that floor. This was all part of a dream. Give my kid a hug. It's all part of the dreams that we had. They are tangible and they can be reached. They can be obtained. Every one of them. Every one of them. So if you think that your dreams aren't obtainable, then you need to think about your dreams a little differently. Think about what you want to do. Think about what you have to do to get there. Think about the goals you have to set. Think about what you have to do on a daily basis to do it. If this day, if what you're doing today is not on the step, it's not on the ladder rung to your dream, then why are you here? If you're not here trying to obtain your dreams, trying to live your dreams, then what are you doing? Are you just doing the same thing day after day after day, just thinking that maybe one day I'll win the lottery? Maybe one day my significant other will have a windfall. Maybe my family will leave me this huge chunk of money. Guys, that stuff happens to people. It really does. But the people that reach their dreams that way don't get the freedom that you get when you work your tail off. Blood, sweat, and tears. You tell people what your dreams are. They will help you reach them. When Ashley and I work together, we sit down and talk about what we want to do. We can do anything because we don't dream alone. We talk to each other about what our dreams are. We make plans for our dreams. And that was part of the purpose for the packet that you got. What was it? The planner?
The plan.
The planner. That's why we actually put some personal stuff in there. Not because I want to know what your personal dreams are. It's none of my business. But the business goals that you make should be helping you obtain the personal dreams that you have for yourself and for your family. That's the whole point. Dreams aren't about money for me. They really aren't. But I can't reach the dreams that I have without it. It's a necessity in this life, and we have to earn the money to live the dreams that we want. I had to have the insurance to ensure that I had the kids. If I hadn't had the insurance, could you imagine how much worse that heartbreak would have been for Ashley and I to know we don't even have a backup plan? Can you imagine trying to just pay your mortgage without the money? Money is not the most important thing to us, and we don't talk about it much, but you have to have monetary goals in order for you to reach your dreams. Every one of you. Think about the dreams I asked you to think about earlier. Think about those in your brain. How much is that going to cost you? How much is that going to cost your family? What does that mean monetarily wise? That's why we look at what do you need to earn this year to get closer to your dream. It's not about you making more money. It's not about the brokerage making more money. It's about getting one step closer to living that dream. Because when you live your dreams, you live free. You live free. That's all I got.
Is this your next business?
What?
Motivational speaking?
No, I'm not. I'm honestly, this has been roaming around in my head for about 4 months. And
I thought you were very good.
You are.
thank you.
You should think.
This is something that's really important to me, and it's something that nobody told Ashley and I to make a 5-year plan. Nobody told us what to do. Nobody told us how to get there. You know, we realized that there was something out there that we wanted. We had to figure out how to get it responsibly, and it just boiled down to putting it on paper. Like, this is what we have to do. And so Ashley and I, during those times, we knew this is what we have to do. We can make those decisions together and separately when we're not together. Is this decision right to get to my dreams? Is this decision right to get to our goal? If you don't want to call it dreams, it feels funny to call it dream, call it a goal. Call it a goal. Does this work with that? Does this mesh with that? That's what it's all about.